So we just got the Comic-Con panel for Candace Against the Universe released on YouTube for free, and let me tell you, it was a wild ride. We got tons of new insider info from everyone at the panel, so let's go ahead and get right into it. The biggest thing to come out of the panel by far was the first official clip from the movie. It's basically the opening scene of the movie with Candace singing a song about how it's a beautiful day. And while I can't play the full song here for copyright reasons, I absolutely loved it. It feels just like stepping back into the show after so many years with some updated animation to boot. This scene is definitely animated by Snipple, who is a new animation company for Dan and Swampy, as previous projects have gone to Synergy Animation or Wang Film. But I mean, come on. This whole song slaps. Now, what all do we learn from this scene? Well, we learned that Jeremy's working in the concession stand at The Game for the day.
Are you going to the game later?
Yeah, probably. Jeremy's working concessions.
Cool. It's a beautiful day for it.
This is almost definitely the game happening at the baseball field where the final battle takes place, and it would make sense that Jeremy meets them there towards the end of the movie for that last musical number. Also, Stacy and Ginger and Mrs. Hirano. Man, so many character cameos. So the song goes on and we see the infamous Danny Jacob trio from My Nemesis and My Evil Buddies and I, and Candace breaks out into a full-on rock number recapping the highlights of the summer, including she goes over the events of Roller Coaster, iRobot, Gaming the System, The Magnificent Few, It's About Time, Deplane, Grease Lightning, Traffic Cam Caper, even though they built an elevator to the moon, not an escalator, but close enough. The Doof Side of the Moon, Tree to Get Ready, Cheer Up Candace, Phineas and Ferb Busters, My Fair Goalie, Buford Confidential, Journey to the Center of Candace, Leave the Busting to Us, Can Dare Me, Troy Story, Attack of the 50-Foot Sister, Mom's in the House, and Thanks But No Thanks. Wow, that is a lot of ground to cover. These stills are all illustrated by Ashley Michelle Simpson, who did the character designs for the teenage Phineas and Ferb characters, and she also storyboarded on Milo Murphy's Law and did special end credits for the first 2 episodes of Milo. You can definitely see her style shine through here. Oh, and she's also working on this really neat original webcomic too, so go check out her Tumblr, link below. Continuing with the scene, we have Candace uncovering Phineas and Ferb's latest invention, a giant robotic clown that's juggling them, including the shot from the second teaser. This pushes Candace to her breaking point, and my guess is that she goes to bust the boys.
Okay, this ends today.
Shocker, right? So, while this clip had a ton to unpack, let's go back to the Comic-Con panel. If you're a fan, it's definitely worth watching the whole discussion, link in the card, but I'll give you the highlights of the reveals. There was one particular part of the movie where Bob Bowen pitched a major story solution that Dan and Swampy's knee-jerk reaction was no to. But Bob went home to board it, pitched it again to Dan on Monday, and made Dan laugh until he cried, and it made it into the movie. Speaking of Bob, the director, it looks like he might be voicing an alien in the movie in addition to Trucker Ted. The next bit is that Buford's canoe was actually a joke added at the beginning where he couldn't fit the canoe into the rocket. But Dan and Swampy thought it was so funny that they ran to ask Bob if they could add the canoe into every scene Buford was in. So they did. And of course they had to figure out a payoff for the canoe later on in the film too. We also found out that they tried a few different openings for the film. But Candace busting her brothers always felt too harsh for the story where Candace is the sympathetic hero, especially to new viewers without context. As such, It's a Beautiful Day was one of the last songs written to solve the problem of the film's opening. Also, Isabella and Doofenshmirtz have a duet in the movie. Apparently they argue a lot throughout the film about who's the leader, and Isabella's like,
"My mystery patches should scare you, Doof."
It sounds amazing. Also, Doof is gonna get a great solo song called Adulting. Baljeet's arc in the movie is tied to his love of an unnamed TV show about the Lumberjacks maybe, or Dr. Zone, and he will get to sing in the movie. Also, Candace's name means something special in the movie. It was originally just said by Dan as a joke, but it soon actually made its way into the movie script. And finally, and perhaps most surprising, is that Perry will have a song in the film, but it won't be sung by D. Bradley Baker. Let that one sink in. Perry will spend most of the movie as the group's guardian angel because he's not able to be seen by either group as he has to avoid revealing his identity as Perry to Doof and as Agent P to the boys. Oh, and Dan said there's a scene in the movie that they play for no jokes, just pure emotion, pure tears. It really sounds like this movie will be unlike any other Phineas project before. Okay, so now can we talk about the fact that I can recreate this shatter effect in After Effects just like that? Like, oh wait, that's our first look at Super Big Doctor. So those are the highlights of the panel. Again, please watch it. It's really enjoyable to see all of our favorite people from the show together discussing it and just getting excited about the movie. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Phineas Flynn's Law.